My dear friends, I want to talk to you today about something many of us know all too well. Stress, pressure, that weight that feels like it's pressing down on your chest in the quiet hours of the night. Life brings it in waves. Through heartache, through failure, through uncertainty. And I know sometimes it feels like too much. But I want you to hear me when I say this. What you are carrying, that burden you're wrestling with, it is not the end of your story. It is not a punishment. It is not pointless. There is something greater on the other side, because God in His wisdom is not wasting a single ounce of your pain. That pressure you're under, it's not meant to crush you, it's meant to shape you. You see, a diamond is only born under pressure. Gold is only purified by fire. And your calling, your purpose, your destiny, it is being refined right now through the very thing that you think is breaking you. So don't give up. Don't let the weight lie to you. God is doing something in your life, and if you trust Him through the stress, through the struggle, you'll find that He's leading you to something far greater than you ever imagined. My dear friend, there comes a time in each of our lives when we look up and ask, why is this happening to me? The stress, the pressure, the unrelenting weight on our shoulders. It feels like too much. Maybe you're walking through a storm right now. You feel overwhelmed, pulled in every direction, wondering if you can take another step. You look around and it seems like everyone else has it together, but inside you it feels like something is breaking. But I want you to hear this with all your heart. The pressure you're feeling right now is not there by accident. It is not without meaning. There is a divine purpose behind every ounce of it. You were not created to be crushed. You were created to be transformed. You are being shaped, molded, refined, not by chance, not by the cruelty of life, but by a loving hand that sees beyond your current struggle. When you feel pressed on every side, it's easy to believe that you're being punished or forgotten. But the truth is that stress can be a signal of something sacred. God is doing something deep within you, even if you can't see it yet. He is using the pressure to carve out space for something greater. Greater strength, greater wisdom, greater purpose. Just as the roots of a tree push deeper during the storm to anchor it more firmly in the earth, so too your soul is digging deep into faith, into endurance, into a strength that doesn't come from this world. Pressure in your life is often the sign of something powerful being prepared. Think about it. Before a seed can grow, it has to be buried in the darkness of the soil. Before the morning light breaks, there is a stretch of deep night. Before victory, there is a battle. And before a miracle, there is often a moment of unbearable stress. But if you walk through it with faith, if you refuse to let go of hope, what's on the other side will change you forever. God never promised an easy road, but He did promise that you would never walk it alone. And He did promise that all things, work together for good to those who love Him. Even your stress, even your tears, even the sleepless nights, even the moments when you cry out wondering if anyone sees your pain, yes, even those. What pressure does is reveal what's already inside you. It uncovers the depth of your character. It pushes out the impurities and exposes the strength you didn't know you had. You may not feel strong right now, but you are stronger than you think, not because of who you are, but because of who walks beside you. The Spirit that raised the dead is alive in you, and there is no pressure too great for that power. There are times when stress will make you feel like you're losing control. But friend, you were never in control to begin with. And that's not a threat, it's a comfort. Because the one who holds the universe holds you too. Your stress is not the final chapter. It is a bridge to something new. Something that will take everything you've been through and turn it into testimony. You won't just survive it, you'll shine through it. You'll come out of it with a story that gives hope to someone else. So don't despise the pressure. Don't curse the storm. Don't give up in the waiting. Lean in, trust deeper, and believe that if God brought you to it, He will bring you through it. The purpose behind your pressure is bigger than your pain. It is leading you to something eternal. It is preparing you for what you prayed for. It is taking you from where you are to where you're called to be. The refining fire never feels good, but it always produces gold. And you, my friend, are being refined for greatness. Not for comfort, not for ease, but for glory, for purpose, for a life that reflects the strength and grace of the one who formed you. Right now, in this very moment, you may not understand the reason behind the weight you're carrying. And that's okay. You don't have to understand everything to trust the one who does. All you have to do is take the next step. Hold on one more day, breathe one more prayer, and believe deep in your soul that this pressure is not breaking you. One day you'll look back and see it clearly. You'll see how that season of stress became the turning point in your life. You'll see how the crushing pain produced a clarity you never had before. You'll see how the moments you wanted to quit were actually the moments you grew the most. And you'll say, thank God I didn't give up. Thank God I held on. Thank God He had a purpose for the pressure. So walk with your head high. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped for something greater. The pressure you feel is the sound of your purpose awakening. The stress you feel is the stretching of your soul, preparing to step into destiny. Keep going. You're closer than you think. There's something about a burden that makes a person feel small. A weight you carry in the silence, in the midnight hour, when no one else sees the tears or hears the cries. You might be carrying something right now, a deep sorrow, a quiet fear, a silent battle within your heart. It might be the burden of financial struggle, the pain of broken relationships, the stress of responsibilities that seem to pile higher than your strength can handle. And you've asked, maybe with trembling lips, why am I going through this? Let me speak to your heart today. Your burden is not the end of your story. It may feel heavy, it may feel like it's slowing you down, but it's not here to destroy you. It's here to transform you. What you carry today may be the very thing that leads you into your greatest breakthrough. Because we serve a God who never wastes a burden. He never allows pain without a purpose. He never lets tears fall without catching every one. What the world sees as your weakness, He sees as the soil for your strength. What you see as a setback, He is using as a setup for a powerful testimony. There are times when the weight becomes so great that we feel like falling, and sometimes we do fall, but it's in the falling that we often discover grace. Not the kind of grace that simply comforts, but the kind that lifts, that empowers, that restores. That moment when you cry out, when your strength fails and your heart is barely hanging on, that's where the breakthrough begins. Because God meets us most powerfully not in the places of our pride, but in the places of our surrender. You might feel like your burden has made you weaker, but in truth it has made you stronger. You've walked through days others would have given up on. You've endured trials that should have broken you, but you're still here, still standing. And that's not just survival, that's the beginning of victory. A breakthrough doesn't always come with flashing lights or loud applause. Sometimes it comes quietly, like the first ray of dawn after a long night. It comes in the peace that enters your heart when you choose to trust again. It comes in the courage to take the next step when fear tells you to stop. It comes in the strength to forgive, the humility to let go, the boldness to believe that something better is on the other side. That breakthrough you've been praying for, it's closer than you think, and here's the truth. It couldn't come without the burden. The burden is what's been pressing you into purpose. It's what's been drawing out your faith. It's what's been deepening your roots. So when the blessing comes, you'll be ready to carry it. If you look back over your life, you'll see it. You'll see the times you didn't know how you made it, but somehow you did. You'll see moments that hurt so much and yet birth something new in you. Wisdom, compassion, strength you didn't know you had. That's not coincidence. That's divine design. You're being shaped, not shattered. It's in the breaking that the breakthrough is born. Just like the ground has to break before the seed can grow. Just like the sky cracks open before the rain falls. Just like the night must break into dawn. Your burden is the breaking ground of something beautiful. Sometimes we think we have to fix everything before we can move forward. But God doesn't need your perfection. He just wants your trust. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to keep walking, keep praying, keep believing. Because the burden you carry is leading you somewhere greater than where you've been. It's not just about getting through it, it's about who you're becoming because of it. Every burden has been building you, every weight has been strengthening you, and your breakthrough is not just for you, it's for the people around you who will one day need your story. They'll need to hear how you kept going, how you believed, how you overcame. You're not just carrying a burden, you're carrying a testimony in the making. There will come a day when you'll look back and thank God not just for the breakthrough, but for the burden too. Because it was in the burden that your faith was forged. It was in the burden that your vision became clear. It was in the burden that your heart became whole. So, don't despise what you're carrying. Don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you better. Let it draw you closer to the one who carries you when you can't go on. The one who turns mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, burdens into breakthroughs. Today might feel heavy, but you are not alone. The weight you bear is seen. Your cries are heard. And the breakthrough is on its way, not because you earned it, but because grace is greater. Greater than the pain, greater than the fear, greater than anything standing in your way. Your burden is not the end. It's the beginning of something new. The door is opening, the chains are loosening, and soon you'll step into a new place. Not because the burden disappeared, but because it brought you to the breakthrough your soul was longing for all along. So lift your eyes, hold your head high, and walk in faith. What once felt like too much to carry will soon be the reason you soar. There is something holy about the fire, not the fire that destroys, but the fire that refines. The fire that strips away what is shallow and leaves behind what is strong. The fire that doesn't come to consume you, but to purify you, to cleanse you, to make you into the person you were always meant to become. And I want to tell you today, from the depths of my heart, that if you're walking through a struggle right now, if the heat has been turned up in your life, you are not being punished. You are being refined. God often does His greatest work not in the mountaintops of comfort, but in the valleys of trial. It is in the furnace of life, in the pressure of the moment, where the soul is tested and shaped. You may feel like you're being burned by disappointment, by loss, by fear. But let me remind you, fire doesn't just burn, it transforms. Fire takes what is impure and makes it pure. Fire takes what is weak and forges it into something unbreakable. Think about gold. Before it shines, it must go through the flame. Before it's valuable, it must be refined. That gold has to sit in intense heat until everything that doesn't belong is burned away. It's not a comfortable process, but it's a necessary one. And so it is with our lives. We are gold in the hands of the refiner. And the fire you are walking through is not meant to harm you. It's meant to reveal what is true in you. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet didn't get there by living easy lives. They've been through something. They've faced betrayal. They've endured heartbreak. They've wrestled with doubt. They've had nights when they didn't know how they would see the morning. But instead of letting the fire destroy them, they let it refine them. They chose to trust the process, even when the pain didn't make sense. Maybe you've been asking, why this struggle? Why now? Why me? I can't answer every question, but I can tell you this: God is more interested in who you are becoming than in keeping you comfortable. He's more interested in building character than easing convenience, and sometimes that means allowing us to walk through fire, not because He doesn't love us, but because He loves us enough to prepare us for something greater. You may not see it right now, but the struggle is shaping you. Every tear, every setback, every closed door is doing a work inside of you. It's teaching you to rely on a strength that is not your own. It's breaking down pride. It's stirring up humility. It's calling forth perseverance. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the fire didn't destroy you. It made you shine. Don't run from the struggle. Don't curse the fire. Stand in it with faith, knowing that you are not alone. God doesn't leave you in the flames. He walks through them with you. He stands beside you in the furnace, just like He did with 3 faithful men long ago who refused to bow to fear. They were thrown into the fire, but they were not alone. And neither are you. There is another in the fire with you. You may not see Him, but He is there. And His presence is what makes all the difference. It's His presence that protects, His presence that strengthens, His presence that turns the heat into hope. Some of the greatest lessons in life come not from ease, but from endurance. When you've been through the fire, and you come out on the other side still standing, still believing, still praising, there's a new kind of faith in you. A tested faith. A proven faith. The kind of faith that doesn't waver in the wind because it was forged in the flame. God is not finished with you, and the fire you're facing is not final. It's a season, not a sentence. It's a process, not a punishment. You are being made new, even if it hurts. You are being prepared, even if it's hard. You are being refined into something strong, something radiant, something ready for the next chapter. So don't give up in the heat of the moment. Don't let the flames make you forget the promise. You are not what the fire says you are. You are what the refiner sees in you. Pure, strong, beautiful, valuable. Every struggle has purpose. Every test has a testimony waiting to be told. And your life is not a random series of painful events. It is a masterpiece in progress. One day the fire will pass, the season will shift, and you'll see that what you thought was the end was actually the beginning. You'll understand that the fire didn't come to destroy your identity, it came to reveal it. You'll know that your struggle was the very thing that gave birth to your strength. So, stand firm, lift your eyes. You are being refined, not rejected, shaped, not shattered, strengthened, not forgotten. Let the fire do its work, and let your faith rise in the flames. Because what God is forming in you through the struggle is greater than what the struggle tried to take from you. The fire is not the end, it's the evidence that something new is being born. Keep walking, keep trusting. The refiner knows what he's doing, and when he's finished, you won't come out burned, you'll come out shining. There comes a moment in life when the pressure gets so intense, so overwhelming, that you begin to wonder if you'll make it. The stress feels unbearable. The weight of responsibility, the sting of failure, the silent battles you're too tired to fight. It all seems like too much. You lie awake at night, your heart racing, your mind spinning, trying to hold yourself together while the world around you seems to be falling apart. But let me tell you something from the depths of my soul. What you're walking through right now, that very stress you wish would disappear, might just be the setup for something greater than you can imagine. It may not feel like it in this moment, but this pressure is preparing you. It's not here to break you, You see, strength doesn't come in times of ease. True strength, lasting strength, the kind of strength that carries others and shines in the dark, is forged in the fire of stress. It's when the demands are greater than your capacity, when you're stretched beyond what you thought was your limit. That's where the seed of strength begins to grow. That's where character is formed, faith is refined, and purpose is awakened. Some people see stress as a curse, but I want you to see it as a calling, a holy opportunity for God to do something in you that couldn't be done any other way. Because when you run out of your own strength, you finally begin to draw from His. When you hit the wall, when your resources are gone, when the pressure is too much, that's when grace steps in. That's when you discover a power greater than your own, and in that discovery you are changed. The stress you feel today might be the very thing that opens your eyes to who you really are. Not weak, not broken, not forgotten, but chosen, called, equipped. Because if you were not meant to make it through this, you wouldn't be in it. But the very fact that you're still breathing, still believing, still holding on, means there's something inside you that is stronger than the struggle. Sometimes God allows stress in our lives not to hurt us, but to stretch us, to take us beyond comfort and into growth, to pull us out of small thinking and into a bigger purpose. He doesn't cause every hardship, but He uses every hardship. He doesn't create the storm, but He'll use the storm to teach you how to stand. Think of a muscle. It only grows when it's pushed, when it's strained, when it's placed under resistance. Without resistance, it remains soft, undeveloped. But under stress, it strengthens. And so it is with your soul. Every moment of pressure is an invitation to grow stronger. Every trial is a chance to become more resilient, more grounded, more courageous. That stress you feel about your future, your finances, your family, it may just be the doorway to a strength you didn't know you had. It may be the very place where you find out that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by the one who walks through them with you. And maybe, just maybe, the stress has a message. Maybe it's not trying to destroy you, maybe it's trying to wake you up. To wake you up to the fact that there is more in you. To wake you up to the truth that the time has come to rise, to fight, to press on. That you are capable of enduring more, loving more, giving more, standing firmer. Not because of your own might, but because God is your source. There's a strength that only comes on the other side of stress. And you don't get there by avoiding the pressure. You get there by walking through it. One step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time. You may not feel strong, but you are. You may not see the breakthrough yet, but it's coming. Because God is faithful, and He doesn't bring you this far to leave you here. He's setting you up for something greater. Sometimes what looks like stress on the surface is actually strategy beneath the surface. You're being positioned, you're being readied. The challenge is not the end, it's the beginning of a transformation. And when you come through it, and you will come through it, you won't just survive, you'll thrive. You'll walk with a strength that lifts others. You'll speak with a voice that brings hope. You'll live with a fire that lights the way for someone else in their own storm. You are not here by accident. And this moment of pressure is not random. It's a setup for your growth, a setup for your next chapter, a setup for strength. And if you'll lean into it, if you'll choose to trust instead of fear, if you'll keep your eyes on the one who holds it all together, you'll find yourself rising, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. And one day, not far from now, you'll look back and say, that stress, it didn't crush me, it crowned me. It prepared me. It didn't steal my peace, it built my power. Because in the fire, I found my faith. In the pressure, I found my purpose. In the stress, I found my strength. So, don't fear the struggle, embrace it as the setup it truly is. You're not falling apart, you're being forged. And the strength that is rising within you will not only carry you through this storm, but will carry others as well. Stand tall. The stress is strong, yes, but your strength is greater. And it's only just beginning. There comes a time in every life when the skies turn dark, the winds begin to howl, and the storm rolls in. Not the kind of storm you can see on a radar, but the kind that shakes you on the inside. The storm of loss, the storm of disappointment, the storm of anxiety and fear. And when that storm comes, it's not always easy to hold on. It's not always easy to keep believing, to keep standing, to keep trusting. But I want to tell you something deep and true. Even when the storm is raging, God is still working. Even when the clouds are thick and you can't see your next step, there is a process unfolding. You may not understand it right now, you may not feel it, but faith doesn't wait for feelings. Faith trusts the one who calms the wind and walks on the waves. There is a process happening in your pain, a divine process that does not waste your tears or overlook your trials. It's a process that's often hidden, quiet, unseen. It works beneath the surface in the stillness of your struggle. And it takes trust, real trust, to believe that what looks like chaos is actually construction. Some of you are in that place right now. You're praying, but the answers seem delayed. You're believing, but the breakthrough hasn't come. You're doing all you know to do, and still the storm won't let up. Let me encourage your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. God is not done with your story. He's just getting started. And if you can trust Him in the storm, you'll see a miracle when the clouds clear. Think of a seed planted in the earth, buried in the dark, covered by dirt. It looks like nothing's happening, but under that soil, something sacred is taking place. The seed is breaking, roots are growing, life is forming, and in time what was hidden will rise and flourish. But it only happens when the process is trusted. You may feel buried right now. You may feel like you're in the dark. But you are not buried to be forgotten. You are planted to grow. The storm over your life is not here to drown you. It's here to water the soil of your destiny. The rain that falls now will bring the harvest later. But you must trust the process. And trusting the process means trusting the timing. We live in a world of instant answers and quick results, but God is not a microwave, He's a master craftsman. He shapes things slowly, with purpose and precision. And the masterpiece He's creating in your life is worth the wait. Don't rush what God is doing. Don't abandon the path just because it's painful. Keep walking, even when you don't see the way. The storm is not the end of the journey, it's a part of it. It's the chapter that builds your character, the test that produces your testimony. And sometimes the greatest miracles happen in the middle of the mess. The miracle is not always the storm stopping. It's you learning to stand while it rages. It's the peace that holds you when the world is shaking. It's the calm that enters your soul when you lift your eyes and say, "Even now, I will trust you." There's power in that kind of faith. Not the kind that only believes when everything is perfect, but the kind that says, "Though I walk through the valley, I will not fear." The kind that says, "I don't understand it, but I know who holds me." That faith moves mountains. That faith opens doors. That faith brings you through fire without the smell of smoke. And friend, let me tell you, there is something waiting on the other side of this storm. There is a dawn beyond this darkness. There is purpose in the pain, beauty in the breaking, and strength in the struggle. You're being refined, you're being strengthened, and when this storm passes, and it will, you will come out stronger, wiser, deeper, and more grounded than you were before. So, don't give up. Don't lose heart. The storm is real, but so is your Savior. The struggle is hard, but so is your hope. And right now, in this very moment, God is working all things together for your good. Not some things, not easy things, all things, even this storm. You are not alone in the process. There is a hand holding yours. There is a voice whispering peace to your soul. And even when you can't trace his steps, you can trust his heart. Trust that he is faithful. Trust that he is good. Trust that the same one who brought you this far will carry you through. You're not just surviving this storm, you're being shaped by it, strengthened in it, and someday you'll look back and see that the storm didn't take you down, it lifted you up. It drew you closer. It taught you to walk by faith, not by sight. And that kind of faith, that kind of trust, that's what carries you through every season, every trial, every unknown. So stand firm, keep believing, keep hoping. The process is unfolding, the breakthrough is coming, and the one who speaks peace to the waves is still speaking to your heart today. You may be in the storm, but the storm is not in you. You are anchored in something greater, and because of that, you can trust the process, you can rest in the storm, and you can walk forward in faith, knowing that what lies ahead is far greater than what lies behind. And now, as we come to the close of this message, I want to speak directly to your heart. The part of you that has been carrying the weight, the part of you that's been silently asking how much longer, the part that has questioned, is there meaning in this pain? Is there purpose in this pressure? Is there strength after this storm? Yes, there is. You may not see it all now. You may still be walking through the fire, still standing in the storm, still feeling the weight of stress. But I tell you today, in the full assurance of faith, God is not finished with you. What has looked like a setback is a setup. What has felt like destruction is divine construction. He is using it all, not just the easy days, but the hardest ones too, to shape you into a vessel of strength, compassion, wisdom, and courage. This journey of life is not about escaping the struggle, it's about learning how to walk through it with purpose. And when you walk through it with Him, nothing is wasted. Not one tear, not one moment. Every pressure, every pain, every unanswered question is working in you something eternal, something that storms cannot shake, something that trials cannot steal. So hold your head high. Lift your heart again. You may be tired, but you are not defeated. You may be pressed, but you are not crushed. You are still here, still standing, still believing. And that is a testimony in itself. Go forward with faith. Go forward with trust. Know that you are being led by a hand that never lets go, held by a love that never fails, and carried by a strength that never runs out. The stress, the storm, the struggle, they are not the end of your story. They are the beginning of something greater. Keep walking, keep trusting, and watch what God will do with a life that refuses to give up. Your best days are not behind you, they are still ahead.